Now, apparently, there are reports that Apple might be making a sub $600 Apple MacBook. Now, that kind of a price is kind of insane to think about. And sub $600 means, in India at least, it's under 15,000 rupees. 50. And that's a good price tag. I mean, that's a price range that most people look to buy laptops in India. It's usually around between 30 and 50 depending on the spec they want. And this is a good idea, but it does have one actual compromise. Now, in order to get the price down, I think Apple's gonna be putting in the A18 chip or the newer chip, depending on when this thing comes out. I have been hearing about the A18 chip being put into this laptop, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, you need to bring the price down, and from what I know, the rest of the laptop seems quite similar to the normal MacBook Air. And sure, this thing's not going to be as powerful as the MacBooks with the M chips. I mean, those things are super powerful. But for most people, that's too much power and they don't really need that much power. I mean, when you think about it, what do most people use their laptops for? Start working on some Excel sheets, watching movies, some light work, something to do with web pages, or something like some apps, or something like that. There's a lot of basic stuff that people do, and these M chips are way more power than most people are going to need. And some people just want an Apple MacBook that has the Apple logo, obviously, and the Mac software and the Apple experience, and they don't need the power. And this is an option for them. I mean, the 18 chips are really powerful. The 18 Pro could probably do most basic tasks without any issues. And I can kind of see this being there being a good market for this. I mean, for school students, for college students. I mean, everyone uses digital media and digital devices for their work or studies these days, and students do use laptops for different types of stuff. And this could be a key market that Apple could penetrate, because I mean, Apple has the brand value. People want an Apple product, but a lot of times the Apple products are way too expensive and most people cannot buy it. I mean, that's kind of the reason why the iPhone SE was so successful when it came out. The fact that it was cheaper and had all the core things that people want. And from what I know about this laptop, it has the core stuff. I mean, in terms of core stuff, I guess it's mostly visual appearance and the software. But it probably has the great battery too. And the A18 Pro probably doesn't use a lot of battery since it's a mobile processor. So I'm guessing it's gonna have incredible battery life, which is something that people that are students or students looking for laptops do care about. If they want to watch a lot of movies or do something like that, use their laptop for a long time in class, take them to college for a whole day and use them for a whole day. This could be a serious game changer and help Apple penetrate this market. And now, would I personally buy this laptop? Well, depending on my use. I mean, if I want to do video editing, I probably would go for the M chip because that's more future proof. If you want to do more hardcore video editing or something like that, you're going to need something with a lot more power that's accessible in the future. But if it's just basic use for a long time, yeah, these chips can handle it. And the fact that Apple makes the chips and the software means that they can really optimize the software for this chip and maybe cut out some of the stuff that from Mac OS that might bring this thing down, or maybe put a toned down version of that stuff. And they could really do it. That's one huge advantage that Apple has, because they have the software and the hardware at hand. That kind of control gives you a lot of room to do a lot of stuff. And yeah, I'm also really excited about the fact that this is gonna bring Apple laptops to a lot of people, because the battery life on the M-powered MacBooks are insane. I mean, that they're giving incredible battery life for the huge amount of performance. It's far superior than anything we've seen before. And if they put in a smaller chipset with a lower clock speed limit, this thing could have, I don't know, easily 2-3 days battery life maybe, depending on how they decide to work it. And that's honestly exciting thing. A laptop you can use for most of the stuff that normal people use, and get 3 days battery life out of it. I mean, you could take that thing for a whole weekend without the charger and not even think about it. That's insane to think about. Now, obviously, this thing is gonna have some other cuts, and I'm thinking what would be the stuff that they end up cutting out. I mean, maybe the RAM ends up being not that much RAM being in the laptop. Maybe the CPU having, well, no, the CPU probably at full power. It's gonna need the power. The RAM could end up being cut down because it might not need that much RAM. And I don't know. Maybe the keyboards and backlit or something, but those seem like small things. I mean, yeah, I guess it would end up losing some of those high-end ports at the sides. And that might be a problem depending on the user, but still, for most people, the ports would be good enough. And the battery life is a good enough seller for most people. And I'm excited for this laptop to come out. And this plus the fact that you can probably sync this thing with your Apple products, your Apple Watch, your iPhone, if you have one. The Apple ecosystem is really good. Once it's kind of constricting, but it is really good and easy to use. And that's one huge benefit. And that's also another reason to make people want to buy this thing. And there's a lot of positives, so I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna be one of Apple's surefire hits. As long as the processor doesn't end up overheating or not being able to handle it, but I'm not really worried about that. The A chips are pretty powerful, so let's wait for the budget MacBook. Even if it is a budget, I mean, it's still expensive, but it is in budget laptop territory now to come out. So